Oh my goodness, what an outstanding optic this is, dudes. Seriously, the Primary Arms SLX 3-power micro prism illuminated mini scope. Mini scope. Yeah, that's really what it is. A mini scope. Far surpassing my expectations. Mounted on this Ruger 1022 in a Troy T22 chassis system. Reviewed in the day. Highly recommended, by the way. If you have one, never sell it. They are out of production. All my testing was done on this platform because, well, I spent my wad with 50 BMG ammo. So I mounted it on a 22. And by the way, here it shall stay. I think I'm going to keep this optic on this 1022. I know, kind of crazy, right? Hey, it's kind of a pricey optic, relatively speaking. I mean, in comparison to Aimpoint and Trijicon, it's like half price. So really it depends on your viewpoint. It seems like if I bring an optic that's more than $200 to the table, guys are complaining about it. I'm like, really? Really? I mean, firepower versus mobility, dudes, don't forget, that plays with optics as well. You want really good optical performance? You're going to have to spend a few bucks. There are some exceptions. The LPVOs by Vortex, these Strike Eagles, here's a 1:6. They're an exception. Their performance far outweighs their price. An illuminated, low-power, variable optic scope. I really think still, even though I love this one, I sincerely love it, this one should be your primary go-to-war optic on your tactical carbine of choice. It's cost effective, it has more magnification. This is just a 3-power. It is pretty much outstanding. I've used them a lot. My favorite is the 1:8, but this 1:6 is not too far behind. And for a while, I don't know if they still have it, Optics Planet had the Desert Tan variations, special editions. I'll put those links below. Please use my links so I can pay for the 50 BMG ammo bill that I have on my credit card. Yeah, it happens. I'll pay it off. I'll pay it off quick, dude. Trust me. Yeah, so this should probably be your first choice. So, although I'm hyper enthusiastic, genuinely so, about the SLX, and I am, don't feel like you have to go peel this off your gun and put this on. Really, what got me going in getting this optic is my deep thoughts, by the way, in shooting moving targets. So I operate on private farmland plural, sometimes. And I have been helping certain farmers eradicate ground squirrel problems. Now these little critters, I don't mind them. I like seeing them at distance. But once they get around structures, they can cause problems. They can also cause problems for livestock. They dig deep holes. They mound up dirt. They kill root systems. They can destroy wooden structures. And so I've been assisting in eradicating some of them. I've been doing so with a 17 HMR, Ruger American, by the way, of which I will speak in other reviews about. Suppressed, mind you. What a wicked setup that is, by the way. Holy cow. I'll roll a photo in. Holy cow, what a wicked setup that is. So I've been shooting these little critters occasionally, not all the time. 100, 150 yards, sometimes closer, and sometimes they're booking. So a moving target, wide field of view, mini scope like this one might be advantageous in that particular philosophy of use, shooting a moving target. And what I like about the reticle, many things I like about it, on the SLXs is, one, they're ballistically matched. So this one is a 5.56 308 reticle. I think you can get it in 7.62 39 as well. I don't think they have a 17 HMR, by the way. I don't know. But I like that they have moving dots on them. So they have 5 mile-an-hour increments right here on the reticle, 10 mile-an-hour increments. And with your experimentation, those could be used for other speeds as well and other targets. I really like that. And then you can see the holdover calculations. 200, 300, 500, 600. I would not want to shoot this past 300 yards. I need more magnification for my eyeballs. Maybe you could do better, but it is possible. Yeah, so don't think of this just as a CQB optic. It's more than that. It's a do everything optic if you can get away with less magnification, and in return you get this enormous field of view. That's one thing I love about it. It's 38 feet at 100 yards with 3 power magnification, and using the highest technology, editing technology known to mankind, I will roll in what the reticle looks like in field on top of my T22. It's garbage video. But I do like film the reticle for you. I can't do it here on tabletop because it's gun mounted right now and zeroed, and I don't want to take it off. It's a fantastic reticle. So it has the inverted horseshoe illuminated, chevron illuminated, and then you have your holdover graduations. Very, very excellent. And this beautiful Trijicon-like field of view. I mean, the quality of the glass in the Primary Arms SLX, it really is amazing. You really need to look through it to appreciate it, and that's where the cost comes from. And I don't think it's that exorbitantly priced at all, around 3-ish. That's in the ballpark, totally. But the quality of glass, the nitrogen purging, the etched reticle, so that's an etched reticle. Top notch, bro. Top notch. Daddy-like. Yeah, and this one is interesting because the field of view is so enormous that, you know me, I'm tall, so I usually like shooting with my buttstock on my AR, or in this case, 22, fully extended. But here I have to get a little bit closer to the optic. It's as far back as I can mount it on this because I run out of pick rail on this particular platform. And so I'm kind of put my face up closer to the optic. It does have generous eye relief, and that seems to work very well. And you're gonna like this. I found shooting it with both eyes open, yes, 3 power, both eyes open, works great. Now, I did plink a little bit with this at a moving ground squirrel, and I am sad to report that I missed. I need more practice at moving targets with a 22, apparently. But the capability is there. I'm just not there yet. Not so much. Yeah. By the way, this has all kinds of really cool mounting options included in the box. So this is how it comes out of box. It's really kind of set up for an AR cantilever style of mount. And then you have, well, these right here. So this is included in the box with your SLX. So it has straight mounting rails on it. Has this low mount cantilever rail on it. And the instructions are fantastic. So there's your mounting options on the SLX. And this shows you how to origami together the parts to get exactly what you want. Look at the height versatility here. So if you want to co-witness, this is your package, boys. Very excellent. I highlighted those because those are my favorite. God, I love this scope. And then it has a very interesting insert of how to use a reticle. There's that 7.62-39 or 300 black reticle right here. I love how they do that. It's very, very excellent. And then it just shows you ballistically what you can expect, what loads you're shooting, what your holdover points would be, your compensation effects. By the way, even though that could be used for a moving target, it's actually also applicable for wind drift. By the way, I'm not saying this is the only optic that does this. There's a ton of optics that have equally advanced reticles as the SLX. So I'm just saying I shot this quite a bit and I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. By the way, it has 13 brightness levels, 3 night vision levels. Yeah, so will I model that in the future, like shooting through such an optic with night vision? I would like to. Filming it's a little bit difficult to show what I'm looking at. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But there are 3 NV vision, settings here if you want, and 13 brightness. The knobs on this thing are fantastic. I did put a little bit of white paint here so I can know when it is turned off. Even though, by the way, you're going to love this, it's not really needed because this has what's called auto live. Auto live. That means it's always on, and so it will go dormant into sleep mode So I could leave the dial right there. It'll go into sleep mode, and there it will stay. And then when you pick up the rifle, it senses motion, it awakes. Super sick. Holosun does it too, I know. Several others do it too, but I didn't know that when I was testing this. I was like, well, I need to turn that knob off. Well, not really. 2032 battery power in this thing. I don't really have an hour run time for you, but I don't know if it matters with the auto live thing. Another thing I love about this, man, I love this. No friggin' caps. So we have flush mount adjustment screws for elevation and windage. And by the way, they're backwards from what you would expect. To go up, we are going clockwise. That is completely opposite of what I'm used to. Same for the left and right graduation on the side. But easy enough to adjust with your Victorinox Cadet. Hopefully TMP Special Edition, by the way. Yeah, that you bought with that credit card. Hopefully you bought like 3 of them. So collectible now. They've gone way up in value. Here's a front view of this. This is a really durable Mil-Spec type housing, y'all. So if you're expecting really hard use with your AR-15 tactical carbine, again, highly recommended. Highly recommended. I would say on par again with Trijicon and Aimpoint products, which, by the way, I absolutely love. I just think they're overpriced. Super overpriced. Look at the quality of the screws for the attachment, the big old torque screws here. Oh my goodness, what a great optic. So cool looking. 80 MOA of adjustment there, so I don't think you'll run out. IPX7 water resistance, lifetime warranty. It does include a dust cap, which, by the way, this is interesting. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you think it's stupid. I am using, I don't know where I put it, but it has dust caps with it. I'm using them because when the firearm is in your gun safe, it's standing vertically. This whole objective will get covered with dust if it doesn't have something covering it. So in field, kind of, sort of, but more than anything for me, it's storage is why I do it. 8 ounces, by the way. Yeah, so not super duper light, but firepower versus mobility, what can I tell you, bro? This is 18 ounces. Has more capability, though, at least in terms of magnification. Illuminated, Strike Eagle. Love those. So excellent. I'll put links to these below. Use them so I can, again, pay off my 50 BMG ammo bill. Thank you very much. This, by the way, is a Benchmade Redoubt. Link for this, too. This thing is super sick. One of the best folders Benchmade has done in recent history. And you can see that Mr. Nutnfancy went out and got crazy with the Dremel. And done did put some gimping in there. I did a pretty good job. Not bad. I freehanded that. I don't have no jig. I just freehand it. Daddy don't care. God, that's a great knife. The only thing missing from the Redoubt really is that it doesn't have auto deployment. So like a hole where I could put a zip tie. I would really like that. This is a Deep Blue Master 1000. Link below. All the Deep Blue watches are fantabulous. This is in that Tiger Abalone face. NHM, by the way. Seiko powered. I almost bought one of these in the day, dudes. An Audi TT RS in this exact color. When I saw this in the store, I was like, oh, I got to buy that. Exact color. It was in that very beautiful bright blue. But I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It's just so much money. And only, I think, 400 horsepower in the variation I was looking at. I was just like, nah. I still have the Vet. Love the Vet. Love it, love it, love it, love it. About as much as I love this scope. Have you bought one yet? If not, you are behind the power curve. The SLX is a legitimate mini illuminated scope. It is fantastic. Good job, Primary Arms. Highly, highly recommended. If you do get one, please come back to the video. Tell me if I lied. Tell me if I got anything wrong about this scope. Was I wrong on any level about it? I'm pretty sure you will agree with me that it was a great purchase, a really excellent CQB optic. And by the way, we're not always going to be shooting at moving ground squirrels. As this clown world progresses, and perhaps WROL raises its ugly head, and also HPAC raises its ugly head, you may have some other moving targets where an illuminated optic with a wide field of view, ultra clarity, and a moving target reticle might come in handy. Nutnfancy.